Today, professional installers are looking for a grout with the best qualities of cement and epoxy, fused into one easy-to-use, high-performance, single-component grout. Introducing Fusion Pro from Custom Building Products. We know grout. Count on Custom. For details, visit custombuildingproducts.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Micalizzi, a member of the NTCA Technical Committee. I'm here along with Kory Jones, representing Custom Building Products. In today's Tile TV, we'll be introducing you to the latest technology in grout, Fusion Pro Single Component Grout. Every professional tile contractor wants an easy-to-use grout without the headaches of color shading, efflorescence, or a nasty grout film. And every one of your customers wants a color-consistent grout that doesn't stain. You've tried cement-based grouts and epoxies, and each has their benefits. Cement grouts are easy to spread and clean, epoxies are color-consistent, and they resist stains. Yet we all know that cement-based grout strengths are affected by the amount of water used in mixing or in cleaning, and they also can change color due to the porosity of your tile or stone. Efflorescence is a byproduct of lime that is naturally in Portland cement grout. And while epoxies are much easier to use than they used to be, they're reactive and have a very definite time limit to clean, or some very strong chemicals are needed to remove it. The new technology in grout uses acrylic silicone resins. These are mixed with silica fillers and inorganic pigments to fuse the best features of grout together and help eliminate the most common problems with installation. This patent-pending acrylic silicone resin technology was recently introduced by Custom Building Products as Fusion Pro Single Component Grout. This new technology is ready to use with no mixing or additives. It cures as hard as a cement grout. Since there's no lime, there's no efflorescence. Because it's acrylic, it's very easy to spread. It's chemically resistant, color consistent like an epoxy, with even better stain resistance. And since it's silicone-based, it's crack resistant too. Here are some tips on how to use the new acrylic silicone resin grout, Fusion Pro. Make certain you have the right tools and materials: a sharp rubber float, a grout sponge, potable water, a nylon scrubber sponge, and a microfiber towel. Before you begin, make sure the tile mortar is firmly set, typically 24 hours. Closely inspect the surface and remove any mortar or dust. Wipe the surface clean, leaving it damp, but without forming puddles in the grout joints. Using the grout float, spread Fusion Pro diagonally across the tile surface, filling all joints. Use your float to remove excess grout, making certain that the joints stay full. Work only about 5 minutes at a time, covering about 30 to 50 square feet, just as Fusion Pro begins to form a skin. Keep in mind, like most grouts, you can spread more Fusion Pro when conditions are cold, less when conditions are warm, before it starts to set. Unlike conventional grouts, cleanup can begin right away. Start where you began spreading Fusion Pro to loosen excess grout from the tile surface. Lightly agitate the surface of the tile with a moderately damp grout sponge. Work in a circular motion. Make sure to re-wet your sponge as needed. Continue cleaning the excess grout, shaping the joints as you go. Go over the surface lightly with a sponge or nylon scrubber as needed. And use a light touch. There's no need to scrub hard. Now return to your starting point for the initial cleanup. Lightly drag a semi-wet sponge diagonally over the surface to remove any remaining residue. Make sure your sponge and rinse water are as clean as possible. Rinse the sponge often and refill your bucket and fresh water as needed. The time has come for your final rinse and cleanup, and since you're working with Fusion Pro, there's no wait time. Making sure to use fresh water, drag a damp microfiber towel over the tile, removing remaining water or residue from the surface. In as little as 2 hours, you can inspect the surface for streaks or residue. If streaks or residue or haze are present, they may be cleaned off with a scrub pad and water. If need be, apply a grout haze remover and lightly agitate with a white nylon scrub pad. Let it soak in for a few minutes, then wipe the surface with clean water and a sponge. Fusion Pro can be open for light traffic at 24 hours without any tackiness that would cause dust or gypsum to stick to the joints. Give Fusion Pro 3 days to fully harden, a little longer in colder temperatures or in higher humidity. Fusion Pro can be used for grout joints 1/16 to a 1/2 inch wide for both interior and exterior installations. And by the way, Fusion Pro is so stain resistant that it never needs to be sealed. The technology of Fusion Pro, the acrylic silicone resin grout, is undefined by today's standards, but it's certainly a product that will help keep tile and stone as the finish of choice. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Tile TV Tips.
Research, production, and distribution by OMG National and its Tile TV division. For a full-service approach to marketing in a self-service world, call, click, or visit OMG National today.